All right, y'all. Kind of crazy. You're here and I'm not. But all right. We are doing law of ambiguous case. Yesterday we learned side angle side. We drew our triangles. We said how we knew that each triangle was a case. And so today's called the ambiguous case. Yesterday we dealt with SSA or ASS, right? Okay, bad words don't use, but also they need to be, hopefully this is sticking in your head because this is what is going to be the ambiguous case. Okay, so here's what we do. When we have one angle and a matching side, okay, that means that we have like triangle ABC, we have angle A, and we have side A, and we have to see how many triangles exist, okay? Test to see how many triangles exist, okay? There is going to be a specific way that we draw these triangles. If it's acute, if the degree we give you is acute, that means we can have 0, 1, or 2 triangles, okay? If the angle is obtuse, we can have 0 or 1 triangle, okay? We're going to show you guys both of these. Yes, these are some problems from your homework, the first 6 to be exact, okay? So determine how many triangles exist for triangle ABC. So yesterday it didn't really matter how we drew our triangles. Today it does. So we're going to draw our angle over here that is given right here, okay? We're going to draw, so this is 30, okay? My side that goes with it is A, which is going to be 1. And I'm putting my other side right up here, okay? So you're like, why didn't you close your triangle? Because that's the question, is does this triangle close? And if it closes, does it close to make 1 triangle or to make 2 triangles? Great question. That's what we got to figure out, okay? So we're given ASS, right? My angle, side, and these guys are matching pairs, okay? That's how we're going to do it. So 30 degrees. So what do we have to do is we don't know if that side is big enough. So what we're going to do, of course, is we're going to drop down and we're going to find the height, okay? We've got to find this height, and the height will be able to tell us how many triangles actually exist, okay? So to find the height, we're going sine 30 is equal to h over 5. When you type this into your calculator, make sure your calculator is in degree mode. So go to mode, make sure it's in degrees. Okay, we're going sine of 30, close your parentheses, times 5, and so your height here is 2.5, okay? So if this height right here is 2.5, my question to you is is a side length of 1 long enough, big enough, whatever word you want to say, to be able to close something that is a height of 2.5, okay? The answer here is no. It is not long enough, okay? Not long enough. So we say this guy has 0 triangles, okay? So I'll give you guys this next slide. Look here, okay? Click on, right here. Click on the top or use your phone. We're going to kind of look to see what this even means, okay? So looking here, okay, law of ambiguous case, okay? You guys can change this degree to a bunch of things, but here's what we're talking about, okay? I'm going to show your height, okay? Right here, my height is 9. Let's make this guy a little bit smaller, okay? So what we did was we just had the height was larger than my hanging side. That's what we're going to call it. This 6.6, I can try as much as I can to swing it down, and it's never going to close, okay? I think everyone's going to be in agreement with that. Let's make it bigger, okay? Let's make it bigger than 9.3, okay? If it's bigger than 9.3, it's going to come around, it's going to close, right? Boom. And look here. This is what makes it really fun, is that it's going to actually close twice. Okay. Last thing, I'm going to make it larger than my other side. So I'm going to make it larger than 12. Okay. So I'm going to look and I'm going to say, look, this closes once. Okay. If I swing her back around, it's not going to close again. So that actually means something. Okay. Y'all take a minute, play around with this, try and grasp what in the world we're actually doing. So we're going to go back here. Okay. we're going to write down here real quick what we found out about looking at that, okay? Here's what we found, okay, is my hanging side. Okay, when my hanging side is shorter than your height, you have 0 triangles, okay? When it is longer than your height and smaller than your given side, your other given side, you only have 1 triangle. Hold on, longer height and shorter, nope, longer height and shorter, we've got 2 triangles. Okay. If it's longer than your height and your given, you only have 1 triangle. Okay, so that's what we're going to do these next few times. The key thing here is being able to draw our triangle and to be able to find your height. Okay, so now we're going to kind of whip through this. So we've got angle A down here. Again, it's 30 degrees. My hanging side, which is across from here, is 2.9. I'm going to draw that it's hanging so that hopefully I remember, hey, this is one of those that I've got to check. I've got to find my height here. So I'm going sine of 30 is equal to h over 5. Okay. You look at your calculator, you're like, wait, I already have this typed in. Yeah, because we already did this. Okay. We get my height is 2.5. So what I just wrote down is now I know that my hanging side is longer than my height, but smaller than my hanging side. This gives me 2 triangles, which means it's going to be able to close somewhere right around there. You're going to be able to swing it around, and somehow if you drew this, not terribly like I did, it's going to close again. Don't worry, tomorrow it's going to be really fun, and we're actually going to find all of the things about these types of triangles. Okay, like what is this length down here? What is the degrees everywhere? Okay. So here we have it. We've got some different, so we've got 7 is my hanging side. Again, I need to find my height. You're like, we've already done this. H over 5. So we have my height is 2.5. So now 7 is bigger than my height as well as my given side. So this only has 1 triangle. Okay. So those are acute. Now we're talking about obtuse. One thing that you already should know about obtuse is that when you draw obtuse, try and draw your triangle, your triangle to be obtuse. It kind of makes the most sense, right? So we've got A is 120 degrees. Okay. B is still going to be over here. So across from A is 10. Across from B is going to be 5. Okay. So what we know about obtuse, an obtuse triangle, okay, the obtuse angle should be across from your largest or your longest side. I've only been given 2 sides here. I've been given 10 and 5. Okay, these match to be the largest. The largest side goes with the largest degree. This gives me 1 triangle. So for obtuse, we wrote this down in the beginning. Obtuse either has 1 or none. Okay, drawing it correctly is going to be our biggest struggle. Obtuse again. A, 120. 4 goes across from it. I've got B down here, and then 5. Okay, I look to see, and I say, hey, there's a mistake here. Whoops, I forgot to write 120. 4 across from my biggest degree should be my biggest side, and that's not the case. 4 is not larger than 5, so this tells me I have 0 triangles. Last but not least, I have 120 degrees. Okay. Make sure that you understand that B is 30 degrees. Okay. So if B is 30 degrees and I'm given 2 right? This is no longer an ASS triangle, right? This is an angle, side triangle, which is not an ambiguous case. So everything about this triangle makes sense. If you wanted to go ahead and find what little baby B was and little baby C was, you could. We're not asking about that. We're saying, hey, is this a triangle? And you say, yes, it is. One triangle exists, and you're like, well, what would not exist? Well, let's say if this degrees here was like 90 degrees, right? Because 120 plus 90 degrees is already bigger than 180. That's not a triangle, okay? We could say that this was a lot of other degrees that are going to be larger than 60, and that would make it to be a no triangle, okay? So we've done 1 through 6 on your homework. You guys have 7 through 15 to work through, okay? You're just telling me how many triangles exist. You only have to test it. You only have to find it when we're given an ASS and your side and your angle are a matching pair. That means I've given you B and I'm giving you angle B, okay? And work through those. Tomorrow we're going to have to use this as we find and solve for the rest of the triangle. So this is the basis of this. Please do your homework. Make sure you're kind, respectful, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Goodbye.